What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. Back at you with another one. So today, this whole gambling thing that came out. So I'm doing a little different today. I want to react to a video by Stap. He kind of broke it down. So I'm about to react to that. Here we go.
Well, there is an absolute bombshell report of a case that is still developing at this time around a federal probe into major players and coaches' involvements with organized crime syndicates to rig NBA games and individual betting props. The investigation, which resulted in several key arrests today, is part of a much larger investigation into La Cosa Nostra, the Gambino crime family, which resulted in, quote, tens of millions of dollars in fraud, theft, and robbery. And that is according to FBI Director Kash Patel himself, who held a press conference today to address this very case.
Let's not, mince words. This is the insider trading saga for the NBA.
The biggest names taken into custody today include current active NBA player Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and Portland Trail Blazers head coach, Basketball Hall of Famer Chauncey Billups. Also arrested today was former Cleveland Cavaliers player and assistant coach Damon Jones. The three of them taken into custody today again, along with 30 others spanning across 11 states. Again, that according to Director Patel.
This is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing.
Terry Rozier was arrested early Thursday morning at a hotel in Orlando, where his Miami Heat were in town for their season opener against the Magic. Billups, meanwhile, was taken into custody in Oregon as part of an illegal poker operation with rigged ties to the mafia. There are no additional details known at this time about the Billups case, but he is expected to make a court appearance sometime today, as is Terry Rozier. Speaking of him, meanwhile, Rozier is in the final season of a 4-year, $96.3 million contract that he signed initially with the Charlotte Hornets in August of 2021. His case is stemming from the betting scandal involving former Toronto Raptors power forward Jonte Porter, brother of former Nuggets, now Nets star forward Michael Porter Jr. Jonte, who went undrafted in 2019, made his NBA debut with the Grizzlies in 2021, but played 26 games with the Toronto Raptors in 2023-2024, and he will now play no more games in the NBA ever because he is serving a lifetime ban from Commissioner Adam Silver for his confirmed involvement in affecting outcomes of games. In what is still clearly an open and ongoing investigation, what we know at this time is that Porter bet on at least 13 NBA games, totaling just over $54,000 from January to March of 2024, with individual per game bets ranging from $15 to $22,000. But the league also found that Porter limited his participation in at least one game that they directly referenced, which was a March 20th contest against Sacramento, where he said he felt ill 3 minutes into that game and didn't return. While a bettor that Porter knew and associated with placed an $80,000 parlay prop bet on Porter, which paid out $1.1 million. And now we know that Terry Rozier was performing similar acts to affect his props as well, with multiple sports books in multiple states flagging suspicious betting interests on Rozier's props ahead of a Charlotte Hornets and New Orleans Pelicans game on March 23rd of 2023, with books citing a surge of bets, including 30 wagers in 46 minutes from just one professional bettor, which totaled around $14,000, and that came in all on unders for Terry Rozier's points, rebounds, and assists. Rozier, who at the time was playing with the Charlotte Hornets, logged only 10 minutes in that game before leaving with what we now know was an obvious fake foot injury. Porter, meanwhile, has already admitted in court to manipulating his performances in at least 2 games during the 2023-2024 season and is awaiting sentencing currently. And while these are still just allegations at this point surrounding Rozier and Billups, it is pretty clear that Rozier was also involved in impacting outcomes of games, and it feels as if we might still just be at the tip of the iceberg. And while Billups still hasn't been implicated in affecting outcomes of basketball games or even betting directly on NBA games himself, his involvement with organized crime syndicates signal at the very least a possibility that he was pressured by bad actors to use his influence to do precisely that. The fact that we have the literal mafia in bed with NBA coaches and players for what has clearly been years, rigging NBA games and prop bets with the endgame result of scamming fans for millions of dollars in illegal cheating on basketball games and underground poker games is surreal, to say the least. This feels like an actual movie, to which I am very certain there will be several made in the years that follow. But while it feels like a movie to some, it obviously is a nightmare come true for disgraced NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, the vapid moron helming the league offices en route to a devastating Titanic-like voyage, which has tanked viewership and likely irreparably destroyed the NBA product as a whole forever. Now, though, we have this. Multiple players now cruising precipitously towards lifetime bans from the sport for their involvement in fixing games, and God knows what exactly a head coach and former Hall of Fame player's involvement actually was. Sure, the NBA product is at nearly an all-time low point in popularity, as you have to go all the way back to the dark ages of the 1970s to find a time period where people cared so little about this sport. But at least the integrity of the game wasn't being challenged to the point that it is now. There have been implications of rigging or fixing games for years, and a bombshell case such as this one only lends credibility to those assertions. It lends credibility to suggesting that perhaps the league itself can even be involved in altering the outcomes of these games. Again, I just did a piece on it a few days ago. Look no further than the NBA's golden goose, LeBron James, and his team, the marquee LA Lakers, and their absurd free throw discrepancy over the last 3 seasons. In looking at just the 2 full-year span from 2023 through 2024, the Lakers shot 1,000 more free throws. That would be 1,104 to be precise, 1,104 more than their opponents. And that number was substantially higher than the team with the second biggest differential over that same time, which was the New York Knicks, higher to the tune of over 700 more. There needs to be, there has to be, sweeping investigations by the NBA itself that rises above.
I bet you that stat follow LeBron teams. I bet you if you retroactively go back, that stat will follow the free throw disparity. That will follow him everywhere he didn't be.
Even what the level of the FBI has done to this point to appease fans' legitimate concerns about the integrity of the sport itself. Though, who am I kidding? The sanctimonious gargoyle figurehead of the league will talk tough and keep on running DraftKings and FanDuel promos during the actual games. You really can't have it both ways at this point. Wolves cannot be guarding the hen house. This clearly has the potential to be the darkest moment in NBA history, as the remaining details continue to emerge in what promises to be a sprawling and ongoing federal investigation. Ultimately, who knows how many more players and league personnel were involved or how long this has all been going on. But to stay up to date as continual details do emerge on this case, please do make sure you are subscribed to my channel.
Nah, it's not. I don't. I'm wondering like how many players is involved in this, and it's like it's not no stopping it. I don't think. I think like the only way you can stop it is stop letting, like he said, you can't have whatever little analogy he used, but you can't let people bet like how they letting people bet, and not and then you think people not gonna get tempted to hedge the bet. You know what I'm saying? To cheat. Like it's if they want people to not do that, the closest thing they're gonna be able to do is just you can only bet on the outcome of the game. That's it. Spreads and who gonna win. That's it. But when you betting on overs, unders, if you score 7 points or 9 rebounds or 4 like it's too easy to be like, well, do the under and don't do it. Like this, it's easy to say why not, like why would they do that? But the temptation is like it's like you see a pile of money on the floor, you like you might not need no money, but you see a $100 bill on the floor, you like so I don't know. I think the only way they're gonna stop sports betting is to stop sports betting. That's it. Because as long as they allow players, they allow betting on games, oh, somebody gonna bet on the game. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know, like, it might seem like, oh, it ain't no money. Or da, 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 da. One thing I know about crimes is that whatever you get caught doing, you done did 1,000 times more than what you got caught doing. You know what I'm saying? Like you done got away with a whole lot, and then you got caught that one time or that 2 times. So whatever they caught, they didn't did 1,000. I mean, what if you got 100 people and they all make the bet and it's 50,000 and 100 people won? You know what I'm saying? Like it's that money add up quick. So yeah, I think the only way they're gonna stop sports betting is to stop sports betting, and that's just what it is. I feel like if they want these people to stop betting on these games, they gotta stop. They gotta stop letting people bet on these games. Simple as that. They gotta stop the spreads with the points and all that, and over under and all. They gotta stop that. If they're gonna keep it going, it gotta be old school Vegas style. In game totals, point spreads. That's it. But all these 10, 11 rebound, no, they gotta stop it. So I'm just curious to see how far this gonna go. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe. See y'all on the next one. Peace.